Have you ever noticed how some people walk into a room and instantly attract attention, like they've got some kind of invisible magnet pulling everyone toward them? Meanwhile, others struggle to start a simple, "Hey, how are you?" without overthinking it to death. The truth is, communication isn't just about words, it's about understanding people on a psychological level. And here's the twist. Most people think they know how to talk to anyone, but psychology says otherwise. See, great communicators don't just wing it. They use subtle psychology tricks, emotional intelligence, and a sharp awareness of human behavior to read people effortlessly. Whether you're trying to improve your social skills, boost your confidence mindset, or simply stop feeling anxious when talking to strangers, mastering communication psychology can change everything, from your relationships to your career. It's not about being fake, it's about learning how to connect authentically and make people want to listen. So, if you've ever wished you could unlock the secrets behind charisma tips, body language, and how to make people like you instantly, this video is your guide. Because once you understand the psychology behind communication, things like personality types, persuasion psychology, and social dynamics, you'll realize talking to anyone isn't a gift. It's a skill you can learn. And today, you're going to learn exactly how. The hidden psychology of connection. Most people think good communication is about saying the right words, but here's the real secret. It's about feeling the right things. The way someone connects isn't through fancy vocabulary, it's through emotional awareness and empathy. Think about it. Have you ever met someone who didn't talk much, yet you instantly liked them? That's because they understood you more than they tried to impress you. Understanding people is the first rule of mastering communication. It's not about being extroverted or talkative. It's about tuning into human psychology, the small cues, like a person's tone, posture, or energy. Here's where most people go wrong. They focus on what to say instead of why people respond the way they do. That's the essence of communication psychology. Imagine someone with strong social skills who mirrors your body language or matches your speaking pace. It feels natural, right? That's no coincidence. It's behavioral psychology in action. They're subconsciously telling your brain, "We're similar, you can trust me." And trust? That's the currency of connection. The more you understand the psychology behind these signals, the easier it becomes to connect with people and build real confidence. If you want to talk to anyone effortlessly, start by observing before speaking. Notice the color psychology in what they wear, the micro expressions on their face, or how open their body language is. Every detail tells you something about their emotional state and mindset. Think of yourself as a detective of human behavior, reading people, decoding emotions, and using your people skills to adapt. Once you master this awareness, conversation tips become irrelevant. You won't need scripts or tricks, you'll simply get people. And that's when everything about social dynamics starts to change. The art of first impressions. Here's something fascinating. People decide if they like you within the first 7 seconds of meeting you. 7 seconds. That's before you even get to show your amazing communication skills. What actually happens in those moments is a mix of body language, tone, and energy. Think of it as your unspoken resume. If your posture screams confidence, your handshake feels genuine, and your eye contact holds warmth, you've already won half the game. The trick isn't pretending to be confident. It's projecting calm, authentic energy that says, "I'm comfortable with myself." That's the kind of presence that pulls people in. Psychology shows that our brains are wired to scan for trust and safety instantly. That's why charisma tips often focus on how you make others feel. When you smile with genuine interest or slightly tilt your head while listening, it signals openness and connection. Even your outfit's color can influence how others perceive you. Blue tends to signal trust, while red commands attention. This is color psychology in real life, shaping human behavior before a single word is spoken. So if you've ever wondered how to make people like you instantly, start by mastering the invisible cues that speak louder than words. Here's a little exercise. Before you walk into any social situation, whether it's a meeting, a date, or just chatting with a stranger, take a deep breath and imagine yourself as someone others want to meet. That mindset coaching trick rewires your confidence. Think of it as behavioral psychology for your brain. People can sense your energy before you even say hi, Once you start controlling that energy, you'll notice something powerful. Others begin to mirror your calmness and positivity. That's when communication mastery truly begins, and it opens the door to something even more transformative. Reading people like a psychologist. Have you ever met someone and instantly felt they were hiding something, even though they never said a word? That's not magic, it's emotional intelligence at work. Reading people isn't about mind reading, it's about noticing what most others miss. Every gesture, pause, and glance reveals something about a person's inner world. When you learn to interpret these subtle cues, you gain a social superpower. Human psychology tells us that people often communicate more non-verbally than verbally, so mastering body language is like learning a secret language of connection. Think of it this way. A crossed arm isn't always a sign of defensiveness. It might mean the person is cold or simply comfortable that way. That's why understanding context is key. The most socially intelligent people read emotions holistically, combining what they see with what they feel. They listen not only to words but also to tone, rhythm, and emotional shifts. In conversation, mirroring someone's posture or matching their pace of speech can deepen rapport without saying a thing. These tiny actions are powerful communication psychology tools for building trust effortlessly. If you want to practice, start small. The next time you're talking to someone, watch their eyes when you mention a topic. Do they light up? Do they tense? Those micro reactions tell you everything about what matters to them. This kind of emotional awareness not only improves your social skills, it strengthens your relationships and confidence mindset. The more you understand behavioral psychology in real life, the more naturally your conversation flows. And once you begin to see what others don't, you'll start to realize there's something even deeper happening beneath every interaction. The power of emotional influence. Here's a little truth most people overlook. Emotion always wins over logic in communication. You can have perfect grammar, brilliant arguments, and flawless delivery. But if you don't make people feel something, they'll forget you the moment you stop talking. The psychology of persuasion teaches us that humans are emotional decision makers who use logic only to justify what they already feel. So, when it comes to mastering communication, your goal isn't just to inform, it's to inspire. That's how confidence building and social intelligence truly come to life. Think of your favorite speakers, influencers, or even that one friend who always knows how to motivate others. They tap into emotional intelligence like artists. They don't just talk, they transfer energy. If someone opens up about their struggles, you don't rush to give advice. You empathize first. A simple, "That sounds really tough, I totally get it," can build more connection than a 10-minute pep talk. That's the essence of relationship psychology, understanding that validation creates safety, and safety opens people up. Once they trust you emotionally, persuasion becomes effortless. Here's a quick mindset coaching tip. Before any important conversation, ask yourself, what do I want this person to feel after talking to me? Not think, feel. Do you want them to feel inspired, understood, valued, excited? Once you know that, your tone, words, and body language automatically align. That's communication mastery in action. And when you can influence emotions with integrity, you unlock a whole new level of social dynamics, one where connection flows naturally, and even difficult people start to open up. But emotional influence is just the start. To truly talk to anyone, there's one final layer that ties everything together. The confidence loop, becoming effortlessly charismatic. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build through action and understanding. The fascinating part? Confidence and communication feed each other in a powerful loop. The more you talk to people, the better your social skills get. The better your social skills get, the more confident you feel. It's like leveling up in a game. Each interaction adds experience points. This is what mindset coaching calls the confidence loop. When you focus on self-improvement instead of perfection, you naturally start radiating a calm, grounded energy that people can't help but trust. But here's where most people get stuck. They wait to feel confident before taking action. That's backward. Behavioral psychology shows that action creates confidence, not the other way around. So if you want to improve your people skills or overcome social anxiety, start by taking small, daily risks. Compliment a stranger. Ask a coworker about their weekend. Make eye contact a second longer than usual. Each time you step out of your comfort zone, you're rewiring your brain for communication mastery and self-help motivation. That's how real personal growth happens, one micro conversation at a time. Over time, you'll notice something amazing. People start responding differently. They listen more, smile more, and trust you faster. That's because charisma isn't loud, it's consistent. It's about being genuinely curious, emotionally aware, and unafraid of silence. When you master communication at this level, talking to anyone becomes second nature. You no longer chase connection, you create it. And that's where the true power of understanding people begins to shape not just your conversations, but your entire life. Now that you've uncovered the psychology behind talking to anyone, here's the big question. What will you do with it? Because knowledge without action is just potential energy waiting to ignite. The next time you meet someone new, try using one insight from this video. Read their body language, listen with emotional awareness, or simply smile with genuine warmth. Watch how people respond. You'll notice the shift immediately. That's communication psychology coming alive in real time. But here's the thing. Mastery isn't about memorizing tricks. It's about building habits that reshape your confidence mindset. Every conversation is a chance to practice human behavior skills, test your persuasion psychology, and grow in self-improvement. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start. That person you admire for their charisma, they once stood exactly where you are right now, deciding whether to stay quiet or step up. The difference is, they chose growth. Will you? So tell me, what's the next connection you're going to create? Who will you talk to today that you might have avoided yesterday? Drop your answer in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story. And if you're serious about mastering communication and personal development, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next deep dive into human psychology, confidence building, and social dynamics. You've got everything it takes to talk to anyone, and now you know exactly how.